दोस्तों, हम सब लोगों को विदेश तो बहुत पसंद आता है, लेकिन एज अ स्टूडेंट हमारे पास कितने चांसेस है कि हम वहाँ जाके अपनी पढ़ाई कर सकें। कुछ लोगों के पास चांसेस होता है, लेकिन सबके पास नहीं, क्योंकि उतना पैसा नहीं होता। आज के इस वीडियो में मैं एक ऐसे ही स्टूडेंट से बात करने वाला हूँ जो अपनी मास्टर्स यूके से कंप्लीट कर रही हैं, वो भी स्कॉलरशिप अवेल करके। तो आइए आज उन्हीं से जानते हैं कि क्या है ये स्कॉलरशिप, कैसे मिलती है, क्या क्या इसके एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया हैं। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है हर्षवर्धन और आप देख रहे हैं एक ड्रीम।
So, hello, Miss Deepika. You're welcome to the show. Actually, I
Hello.
would like to say thanks to you that our time matches and we get a correct time for the interview. So, Deepika, can you please tell me what are you doing right now in the study field? Like, what are you studying in the UK?
Okay, so basically, I'm doing master's in research in nanomaterials under the Department of Chemistry at Imperial College London. And it's a 1 year course, and you have to apply 1 year before. Like, I'm enrolled in 2020-21, so I have to apply 1 year before. Application is like, if I want to join this coming September 21, so I have to apply in 2020 September for the application. So yeah.
Okay. So, you're in the nanomaterial.
Yeah, I'm in nanomaterials. Yeah.
Okay. So, what have you done previously before coming to the London? Your
Okay. So
bachelor's.
basically, yeah, I have done my bachelor's in physics, and then I have done my master's in physics from IIT Delhi, and my bachelor's from DU. Then I did teaching for like 3 years in FITSI, and then because I wanted to go in back to research, so I resigned my job, and then I prepared for JRF. Because in India, if you want to do a PhD, you want to either can get into IITs by GATE if you have a good rank, or with NetJRF. So I prepared for them in 2019, and then I qualified both of them in 2020. I got interviewed both through GATE also and through JRF also. So my JRF rank was 91. No, not 90. Yeah, below 100. It must be 91, 92 JRF rank. So I got IIT Roorkee then as a PhD admission. But meanwhile, I also wanted to go out. So I was trying to get enrolled in a PhD outside India, Germany. Yeah.
So, how did you apply? When did the forms out, and what are the eligibility criteria? And you are on the scholarship, I guess, right?
Yes, definitely. So basically, in 2019, while preparing for the JRF, I also applied for this course, Emrys in Nanomaterial at Imperial, which is completely fees free. You don't have to pay the fees for application like many colleges ask you to fees to apply for. So I applied in September 2019. October 2019. But at Imperial, you have to pay like tuition fee, which is 32,000 pounds,
Oh,
and you have to, like, if you want to stay here, like monthly budget if calculate, and then yearly you need 15 lakh rupees in your account to apply for a visa to come head UK. So it's completely impossible for a student who has no very financial good background who can come without scholarship, or you have to take loan. So meanwhile, there is a scholarship which is called Commonwealth Masters Scholarship, which is offered by the UK government and UK CSE Commission. So it happens, the application opens in October. You have to apply in the month of October to two application portals, one in the CSC and one at the MHRD. So basically, it's a two-way process. You have to apply to the MHRD, and then MHRD will select some candidates out of whole of them, like 20 or 25, and then they nominate these candidates to the CSC Commission. So you apply in October to the MHRD. Like this application opens for like 1.5 month or 2 months in the month of October normally. So you apply to the MHRD and CSC simultaneously. Then MHRD will nominate you by the month of December or January normally. And if you if you got listed in the nomination, then CSE will take time of like 5 months or 4 months to tell you that you are finally selected or rejected. So basically, by the month of June, you will get to know that you are finally selected or not selected. So this whole procedure will takes at least 8 to 9 months to know that you are finally selected for the college or not. But you should have one provisional admission to one of the college to get. You have to submit one provisional letter to the MHRD that you are selected at one university. So that's a
Then
basic
where did you
criteria.
get the provisional letter?
Okay, just say, let's suppose I applied in a month of October to the college and they interviewed me in the month of December. And in my time, the deadline extended for the application of CSE. So I submitted my provisional letter, which I got from Imperial, provisional admission letter. And then I submitted to MHRD on 15th of December or 16th of December, because the deadline was extended to 22nd of December. So that's how I submitted my provisional. So I got lucky because the deadline was extended. So yeah.
Firstly, you have to go to the portal of the MHRD, then you'll have to submit an application regarding that.
Definitely.
And then, how did you get the Imperial College of London provisional? Did you also apply there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, like let's suppose I'm a student. The first step should be like applications open early. You go to college website in the month of August, let's suppose. You apply there. Like there's a full form you have to like pay, you have to submit two references, which I believe. And that's a normal procedure, normal. And then they will get back to you in a month or two for the interview. Then they, on the basis of interview, they will let you know in next 1 week or two that you are finally selected or not selected. And if yes, they will issue a provisional admission letter, which has 4 conditions. So which you can fulfill later in the month 6 or 7 coming months, but they will issue a provisional letter, and that letter has to be submitted to the MHRD, because they are not going to entertain any application without the provisional admission letter. This is a necessary thing you have to submit there.
Okay, when you applied at the Imperial College of London, and as you said that you need at least two reference letter, it is like the same, the LOR, like the letter of recommendation, or something different from that?
No, it's definitely similar, but it's not like your professor has to send you PDF. It's not like that. They have to fill a form. Like you write your references names, your professors, and then the college gonna send them the link, and then the professor can directly fill out the forms. It will same happen for the CSE also. CSE also gonna ask you 3 references. So it has to be 3 references must for the CSE, and 2 for the college. Sometimes college also asks for 3 references. So anyone who wants to do these things has to start from like September or August. Start applying to the college, then get a letter, and then apply for the scholarship, and then wait. Yeah,
So suppose if I applied at the Imperial College of London, and I got the provisional letter, and then I submitted that to the MHRD,
yes.
then the MHRD will contact to the Imperial College of London directly, or they'll send you the
No,
amount
no, they're
to your
not
bank
going
account,
to
or how?
they are not going to contact the university, honestly. uh, they are just like comparing the candidates, like which college they are going to, like what are the colleges, and they are going to compare. Like if you are applying to a top 10 universities, let's suppose there are 20 candidates, and 20 out of 5 of them have applications and provisional from Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, Southampton. So they are going to compare these universities and then give the nominations. So lower the ranking, high difficult are the chances to get the scholarship, honestly. So better the university, better the world ranking, more the chances of you getting. So if you get provisional from Cambridge or Imperial, because Cambridge is higher in ranking than Imperial, then definitely that candidate has more chances in it. And it's not particularly for science students, honestly. It's for every stream. There are 5 to 6 themes. So one is science and technology, one is global peace. There are 6 categories. You can apply to any of those. So there's no
So
restriction.
MHRD will select 20 to 25 students from one branch or from the all of
No,
these
from all
branches.
6 teams, they nominate around 20 students, I believe, approximately. And finally, CSC select 6 to 7, max to max 8 students, I believe. There's no fixed number, I guess. There's a flexibility in that. But MHRD nominates approximately 20 students, and then CSC selects 6, 7, 8 approximately. And it's based on country, like each country has particular number of seats. So India has 6 to 8 seats, and then different country has different seats. So it's like that.
So this Commonwealth scholarship is only applicable to the UK only, or it is also for the Europe.
Oh,
Like the
no, no.
Dart scholarship is for the Germany only. So it is
Yes.
geographical constraint there.
I believe Commonwealth scholarship is for UK also, but there are Commonwealth scholarship for the, I have seen, for the Japan also and for the China also. So if you go to MHRD portal and if you go to higher studies, there are two sections in MHRD. So if you go to higher studies, something like that, then you can see the available scholarships. They are for PhD and masters also. So it's not for UK only. There are some Commonwealth scholarship which are for Japan, I have seen, and maybe from not Commonwealth, CSC, I believe. So that is different. So once you go to MHRD, you can see different scholarships.
So do they have any criteria, like MHRD have any criteria to select, or how do they shortlist their students on the basis of like work experience is also needed, or only the research paper or something like these kind of things?
No, honestly, MHRD doesn't want any work experience, and this CSC Commonwealth scholarship doesn't require any work experience. All you have to, like, you should have a good academic background. You should have the potential to do good research or good potential in your field, and a good overview of what are you going to do here, like in UK. Like you have a good vision, like what you're going to do in next 1 year, the next 5 year. They are going to ask you in detail, like write paragraphs about your 1 year plan, 2 year plan, 5 year plan, how your studies are going to affect the people in your country. So it's, if it's not beneficial for your country, for your country of your people, they are not going to select you. So it has to be related, that if you come back to your country after the scholarship, like studying this course, you have to like give back to the society. So how you're going to give back to the society is the main criteria of the scholarship. So I believe if you are going to relate what exactly you are doing and how exactly you are giving back to the society, that's going to help you. So I believe, but your academic background is very, very important, very important.
Okay, so as you said that your program is only of the 1 year course.
Yes.
So what after the 1 year? What to do next?
Okay, so there's a condition in the scholarship that you can't do a job after your Commonwealth scholarship in UK. So you have to like do a PhD or you have to go back to your country. There is a restriction of doing a job. I don't know what exactly they have changed it or like have some conditions on it, but what I have received in my letter, and so they clearly mentioned that I can't do a job here. So after my master's, obviously I'm planning to do a PhD. You can do a PhD here, but honestly, finding a PhD in UK, it's very difficult because not of the courses you will get PhD positions, but you have to fund yourself because the funding for international students is very restricted. So that's how you can apply. There's no, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but the problem is that it's very competitive, maybe. That's the thing, actually.
So in the 1 year, what is included, like the coursework and the practical work, like internship or some industrial exposure?
Okay, so basically this course is like 30% is the literature work. I have my course modules in the month of October, November, December, but obviously due to COVID, I had done it all online. Then I had exams in the month of January, and then there is a lab research work. So basically, 3 months literature coursework and 9 months is the research work. Lab, you go to lab, you do experiment, and on your project. Also, there are some meetings also about the advanced lecture clubs, but due to COVID, everything is online. So I believe I have less exposure to the industry meetings or collaboration something, but it's okay. I mean honestly, it's okay. In the COVID, they are allowing students to come to the college once a week, twice a week. Now I can go thrice a week. So that's good. This is honestly the best scholarship a master student can have. You get everything. You get all your tuition fees covered up, which is approximately 35 lakh rupees in Indian currency. You get monthly stipend, which is approximately 1,300 pounds in London, and you get return tickets to and from UK, and then you get your thesis allowance, like whatever it takes to make your thesis allowance, and then you get other traveling if you want to travel to
So
UK for the research.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but like you said that you're on the scholarship and you're also getting
Yes.
the stipend.
Yeah, because
Is it the
they
case?
are covering my monthly expenses also, because means they are providing me the tuition fee, like the college fees, which they paid my tuition fees, and then they're providing me monthly expenses like for living expenses, which we call stipend, and then they are giving me the airfare tickets, the third one. Then they are giving me thesis allowances. Then they are giving me the winter cloth allowances when I arrived here first. Yes. So and you don't have to pay the fees. What you said that when we apply for the visa, uh, you have to pay visa fees and a national health surcharge fees, insurance kind of thing. You pay
Insurance, yeah,
approximately,
life
yeah,
insurance.
yeah. So it's approximately 37K and 37K each. That's Commonwealth also sponsor for you. So you don't have to pay anything, and you don't need to show the bank account details because everything is covered up for you. So you don't need to show. So I have not shown anything in my bank account. I don't even have that money to show that, honestly.
Yeah, exactly true.
I'm very thankful to the Commonwealth and to the chemistry department because they supported me so far, so long, and honestly, they are really good. I mean, means my scholarship got deferred and then took a month, and that's how. I was struggling. I'm mailing my program coordinator at the CSC, and meanwhile, the chemistry department at Imperial keeps on supporting me that we are here, no problem, no problem. If you can join late to the course, we are okay with that. So yeah, the college supported me a lot, basically.
So you still in the London, right?
Yes, I'm in London.
So when you arrived there, then how did you get the accommodation? Like you're in the college hostel or something, or the
There's a program officer for each candidate. They will allot you a program officer. You can mail them and they will definitely get you back in a week, and they will help out. So mine is Jasmine, and she always helps me out whenever I'm stuck with, like, when my stipend will come. I'm having this problem. So any problem, you can mail your coordinator. So they are going to help you with everything. Like honestly, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great actually. Sounds good. So okay, Deepika, thanks for the time
Yeah,
and
no mention. Thank you so much, Harsh, for having me
uh,
here. Honestly.
yeah, thank you, Deepika. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
आशा करता हूँ इस वीडियो से आपको ज़रूर कुछ नई जानकारी मिली होगी। अगर ऐसा है तो आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए, क्योंकि फ्यूचर में मैं ऐसी इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियोज़ आपके लिए हमेशा बनाता रहूँगा। अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई है तो प्लीज़ वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, अदरवाइज़ डिसलाइक कीजिए, और हाँ, कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा ज़रूर कि आपको ये वीडियो क्यों पसंद आई या फिर क्यों डिसलाइक कर रहे हैं। साथ ही साथ आप इस वीडियो को अपने फ्रेंड्स फैमिलीज़ के साथ शेयर कर दीजिए, सो दैट ये इन्फॉर्मेशन उन तक भी पहुँच सके। मिलते हैं आपसे अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए आप सभी अपना ध्यान रखिएगा। धन्यवाद।